Welcome to the Shabby Fabrics at Home Studio. I'm Chase. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to create a super adorable project together. This is a part of our Hand Embroidery Series. This is the Joy Embroidery Hoop design, and it's just the coziest winter scene that we have here. Hand embroidery is perfect for these long winter months where you can just cozy up on the couch with a nice warm blanket and just take your time at making a nice embroidery design. This is perfect for beginners. I am new to hand embroidery myself, and this is a great craft to get into if you are looking to get into hand embroidery. We are going to put this in a kit for you. It will include the embroidery hoop, the fabric, and also the coordinating embroidery floss that goes along with it. That way you're not searching high and low for all the different colors. We'll just deliver it right to you. We are going to be using this lovely stone colored fabric from Moda Fabrics, and it just really ties it all together, this cute and fun design. To get started, you're going to want to size your fabric. You're going to want to leave about a 1 to 2 inch border around your embroidery hoop. So this is the 12-inch hoop. Leave a border so that way you have some room to work with. Once you have your materials cut, you're then going to lay down your diagram that we include in your pattern. The pattern is sold separately for those of you wanting to make several different designs. You're going to lay your diagram on here, which we've prepared for you. I am laying it onto the Wafer 2 light box. This is perfect for tracing. It has a great light on here that makes it just so easy to see and trace, especially with these fine details here. You want to have a good light box to trace easily. Then I'm going to lay my fabric over the top of this diagram. Your diagram will include a little center mark for you to align it properly. And due to filming purposes, since this does have quite a bit of design, I'm just going to quickly show you with this already traced. I would take my friction pen, which is the perfect pen for these projects because it leaves a nice mark here on your fabric. But if you go a little bit outside of the line, you can easily just apply heat and it erases just like magic. This is perfect pen for you to just keep on hand at all times. Once you have it all traced here, you're then going to place this into your embroidery hoop, and you can do so by unclasping the two of these. And with the hoop, without the clasp on it, we're going to put it underneath our design, and we will line it up so it is center onto the hoop. And then with the hoop that has the clasp, we're going to layer it over the top and get the fabric nice and snug in between this hoop. Takes a little bit there. So that way when you're doing your embroidery design, it is nice and tight and easier to make the design on here. You're gonna want to then pull your fabric, make it nice and taut, and get all of the wrinkles out of here. If your fabric is wrinkly before you put it in here, I would recommend the first thing you do is ironing it, so that way you're not ironing off your design if you're using an erasable pen here. And then once you have it nice and taut, all of the wrinkles out, we're going to start with the stitching. I'm going to show you a few different techniques. Some of these designs use the same stitching for multiple different places on this design, so I will just show you the basics to each stitch. I like to use these Shabby chenille needles because I like the eyelet on them. It is a little bit larger because I like to use all 6 strands of the coordinating embroidery floss. I think it just makes a thicker, lovely design on here, a little bit more artistic than your normal thickness here. And once you have it threaded and knotted, we're going to start at the top here with this hand lettering. So we're going to start with the word joy here, and this is going to be done in a stem stitch. Once you have your needle thread, you're going to poke it through the fabric, pull your needle up. We are then going to lay it down the other side here, poke through the fabric. And as you're pulling it through, you're going to make a loop similar to a lazy daisy. However, you're going to keep pulling, and then you will go upwards in between these 2 stitches that you just made and pull your needle through to create a stem stitch. I'll show you one more time. So you're going to then make one more stitch here, pierce down through the fabric, pull your needle through, create your loop here. So you can see it here. Mine's a little bit twisted, but I'm going to hold it there, then pierce back up through that little loop, pull up, and continue creating this stem stitch. It's going to make a twist, and we're just following this hand lettering each time around the joy, and it creates a nice little twist here that's similar to a stem as we are creating this cute lettering with the joy here, and just continue to pull nice and tight. Now what we're going to do, I will show you what stitch we will use for the dot of the J here. So once you finish with your joy here, you're going to tie it off in the back, and then we will start with this dot here for the top of our J. You're going to then rethread your needle and go and pierce it up through the fabric. And this design or stitch that we're going to do is a French knot. So once you have it up through the fabric, you're going to pull the thread to the side and wrap it around your needle about 3 to 4 times, and then pierce it through, down through the fabric one more time, and pull it. And this creates just a little knot at the top for the dot for the J. Next, I'm going to show you a straight stitch for this tree here. So after tying your dot here for the J, you then rethread your needle and grab this lovely shade of dark green, and I'm going to show you a straight stitch for this tree here. Once you have it threaded again, you're going to then pierce it up through the fabric, pull it all the way through, and then just simply go downwards with the fabric through it to the next point. I'll show once again the straight stitch here. We're going to pierce it up through the fabric and then back down to the other point. And this tree is just a bunch of little straight stitches all the way through to create the leaf effects on this Christmas tree. Once you're done and have gone through all of the branches here, you're then going to tie it off and start with our next stitch, which will be the chain stitching on the basket here for this tree. So after we completed our straight stitch for the tree, we went ahead and tied it off and cut it, and now we will start with the chain stitch for this basket here of the tree. What we'll do once again is rethread our needle and knot it, and then we will pierce it up through our fabric at the top there of our basket. And then we will make another loop. We're going to go back down and pierce it nice and close to our original pierce through our fabric there. Pull the thread through, and we will make a sideways loop here with our chain, and we will go up, and this is going to determine how long you'd like your chain stitch. You're going to go up through that side loop there and pull it nice and tight to create one of the links for the chain. Once you get to the next one, you're going to pierce it right next to that chain right there, downwards in your fabric, pull it through. This creates your second side loop here. So once you have your loop, sorry, it keeps twisting there, your loop there, we will then pierce the fabric going upwards into this loop and pulling it nice and tight to create our second link in our chain. We'll do this one more time. We go downwards into the fabric, through our loop here, through our loop, and pull it nice and tight to create our link. And you will just keep going in that motion, creating each link of this chain stitching for the basket of your tree. The next stitch I'm going to show you here is going to be a split stitch. We're going to do this for this present here. we're going to tie off our previous stitch that we were doing and rethread our needle, and we will go pierce it up through the fabric. And this next one, we're just going to go down and make one stitch here to start out with. So once you have that one stitch there, you're going to go up, just like the name is. You're going to split that stitch up through the center, pull it through, and create one more stitch over. And go downwards. Once again, you're going to pierce it up through the middle of the stitch here to give it a split stitch. Let me go a little bit over. To give it a split stitch right in the center, and down once again. And I will show that one more time. We're going to go through the center of that split, or of our stitch there, and then go back downwards. And this is the basics of a split stitch. We will then tie this off and move on to the next stitch. For this next stitch, we're going to do a lazy daisy stitch here. And the first thing we're going to do is we will pierce it up through the fabric at the bottom of this bow here that we have marked. And then we're going to make a loop and bring the needle right back down to where we started. As you are pulling it through and creating this loop here, we will then pierce it back up through the loop that we just created and pull it nice and tight here until we get the size of the bow that we would prefer. And then we will go back down through the fabric to secure this stitch here so it stays in its form and bow shape. I'll show this one more time. For the lazy daisy, we will go up through the fabric. We'll then create our loop by going right next to our original place that we started. Go through the fabric and create our loop here. And twist that a little bit so you can see it better. Once you have your loop, you then will pierce up through the fabric, through your loop at the center point there. Pull it until you get to the size that you would like, and then again down through the fabric once more to secure the stitching. After this, you will tie off a knot, and I will show you the next stitch for this project. Our next stitch that we're going to do is a satin stitch, and we will start by piercing up through the fabric with our floss here, and then we will just go to the other side of this brick to create a satin stitch. This is one of the easier stitches. Again, we'll go right next to our original stitch and over to the other side, back down through the fabric. And we will just continue with this method until we have filled in the entire brick there, just going back and forth to both places, coloring in the brick with the rust-colored embroidery floss here. And to do the upper bricks, you would then change your orientation for the satin stitch, but it's the same process of just going from one side to the other until we are filling in all of the bricks. And we will continue going around the fireplace with this stitch, and then we will knot it and finish off with our project. So those are the very basic techniques to the stitches you will use throughout this project. You may use them several different times to create this lovely design, but you can go back and watch the very basic techniques of these stitches. One thing that is very helpful for me as I'm going along with this project are these simple cardboard bobbins here that keep your floss just nice and organized. Sometimes when you're using several different colors, they get knotted and mixed up. You can just organize these. They're small. You can keep them stored in a nice little container, keep them nice and organized, and you can actually write the color on here with a permanent marker so you know exactly which one you're using to order for the next time. This is a very simple project for beginners. It is just lovely and the perfect project also around the holidays. Cozy up and make this fun project. Just the perfect winter one when you're sitting indoors, just nice and calming and soothing. I truly love this hand embroidery design. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. In the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to our main YouTube channel and also follow along the At Home with Shabby Instagram and Pinterest page. It is At Home with Shabby. We'll see you next time.